Hello and welcome back once again. Tonight, what I'm going to be doing is painting the back of this guitar again. This is actually the third time that I've repainted the front of this guitar, and it was the first time I had a bunch of garbage in the paint, so I tried to sand some of the garbage out and ended up going through to the base coat. And in the meantime, I tried to fix my graft a little bit better. It ended up making that even worse. Once I repainted it, it was very evident, so I sanded it back down and did it again. It's still not absolutely perfect, but I'm hoping that once I bury this in clear coat and get it thick enough, and then once I sand it down, you won't even be able to tell. I'm hoping. At this point, I'm just kind of like, ugh. I kind of started going through the edges when I was trying to smooth this down. So I'm going to have to cover up the logo and just kind of, spritz the edges to try to get that covered back up. And I'll, of course, have to redo my fake binding again. But I've got this whole thing taped up now. Oh yeah, I didn't show you this stuff. I also had, let me pull my chair up here. Oh, the spot where I had my plate that was starting to kind of poke through a little bit. You can see the edge of it through the paint. So I just sanded that down so it was smooth. And I had this one hole that kept reappearing. So I filled that in and sanded it down. Also, when I clamped my neck on, this plug here kind of sprouted back out. So I had to seal it and sand it back down. Yeah, I probably should have glued the neck on before I did all this and painted it. Because it ends up adding a whole lot of more steps to this thing than I anticipated. So I'm going to go ahead and get this thing prepped and cleaned up, and then I'm going to go ahead and repaint it. Alright, and there we go, the first recoat. Not too bad. There's a little bit of junk in it. Like, this room's like dusty as hell. But I went and got a water bottle and kind of spritzed everything down before I started. But this stuff will at least get buried in other coats, and then clear coats once I start putting those on. I'll of course sand it before I do the clear coat, but that looks pretty good. Yeah, and also before I do the clear coat, I'll be peeling this paint off. And after it gets dry enough to sand down, I'll retape that and repaint my fake binding. And then I'll be ready to start prepping it for clear coating. That probably won't happen tonight. I've basically been up since about 9 o'clock last night. It is currently 11:30, so I'm like 26 and a half hours in. I'm off tonight, so I kind of stayed up and took advantage of the day off to do stuff, and I couldn't sleep. I was excited about the stuff I had to do and just didn't sleep at all. Tried twice, no dice. So I will keep you up to date on the progress after. I'm going to let this dry for probably 20 minutes or so before I hit it again. I think it's pretty well coated though. I'm going to double check it and just kind of make sure, and also get up along my edges. I got my logo covered up, so it won't matter too much. I'll be able to sand off any overspray that I have. So, there you go. I'll be back. Good morning and welcome back. In case you're wondering what you're looking at here, this could be like one of the smartest or one of the stupidest things I've ever done. For this thing, I'm having just the worst time getting the banding right. You know, getting it to actually like come over the edges and get it even. I had it pretty close to start with. I should have just left it alone, but you know me. I got to looking at the color of this here masking tape. It's real cheap masking tape, and it's extremely sticky. I was wondering maybe if I could cut this in half and use that as the binding and then clear coat over it. So what I've done is I have devised this little device here, and I've just kind of been using that blade to cut this thing in half. So yeah, does a pretty good job. So I'm going to be taking the top part of this. This is the narrower one of the two, and I'm going to start trying to wrap it around the perimeter of the guitar after I do a little more wet sanding on the sides. And I'm going to let the camera run, so if I fuck up, you'll be able to see it in real time. Alrighty, I'll be back. Alright, I went ahead and got started on this just to see how it was going to look. It's actually not too awful bad. Actually ended up doing 2 layers of the masking tape on there, and just kind of made sure that when I laid it down, it came out fairly even. So that actually looks pretty good. Of course, trying to get masking tape around a thing like this is going to be, it's not going to flex very well. So I did what they usually do on sharp bends, is cut it, and then I'm going to start a new piece, just run it up into it. So what I'm going to do is hold on. Let me get my mounting clamp. This is my phone mounting clamp. I just hook my phone to this and stick it down in here, and that's the way it holds this thing up. So alright, so probably what I'll do is I'll only video a little bit of this process. Let's see where I've got my tape that I cut in half. Alright, now this is going to be a time-consuming process, I imagine. So yeah, I'm not going to videotape the entire thing. I'll probably video part of it, make sure it's going to work, and then I'll stop it and come back when I'm done and show you what it looks like. It's not too bad. What I can do is, like, while I'm putting this on and folding the top of it over, I can kind of look straight down on it and see how it's how my spacing is looking. Thing is, I don't want to, tape doesn't want to go around curves as well as like a more flexible kind of tape. So it's definitely going to be interesting to see if this even finishes up anywhere like I want it to. Problem is I can still see a little of my original ridge where I had my first faux binding painted on. Alright, let's see if I can. Yeah, the hard part's going to be getting around this arm contour here, because as I've said, masking tape is not very flexible. It's almost like paper. So I'm just going to have to go very slowly around there and just kind of fold it over as I go and kind of mash it down with my finger, thumb, whatever. So I gotta move this over so you can see what's going on. The thing is, once I get around the guitar, I've got to do it again because the tape's not completely transparent. Starting to get a little bit of the wrinkle there, but press it down hard enough before it gets too set on there. You can kind of flatten them out a little bit. Okay. I'm just going to try to go a little bit closer to my original ridge here, because that part was actually pretty good when I did the paint. Yeah, that ended up not going too badly. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and cut this off for now. I'm going to do the rest of the perimeter of the guitar and then go around a second time, and then I'll come back and show you what that looks like. Alright, so we are nearing the end of the second lap around. Go ahead and start folding that last little bit over. It's not too bad. I will come back with my knife and fix that a little bit. And I have not folded this in yet. But I made sure that when I put that second layer on, that I matched exactly the bottom of the other one. So I have to do a little bit of something with that. But other than that, it has turned out really nice. There, see, it's pretty decent. And it gives me it's pretty even all the way around. So I am happy with that. I'm going to go do the little touch-ups I need to do on this, and then I still got a little bit of spot sanding to do on the back and the headstock. See, I've got most of the sand down, but where I covered up that logo, and that shit's poking through again. What I'm gonna do is take a little paint pen or a Sharpie or something and color that crap in, because I'm not painting it again. And then I'm gonna go ahead and put my studs in and cover them up, so then when I clear coat it, I don't have to worry about clear coat getting down in those holes and keeping me from being able to get my studs in without messing anything up. So that's where I am right now. Alright, I am back. I've got my stud anchors in. I went ahead, probably can't see down in there, but I went ahead and put my ground wire in. So it is now clamped underneath there. And this is pretty exciting because I get to put things in the guitar now. And I guess I'm on here. I might as well go ahead and slap that bridge on there and see how it looks. There we go. Of course, that's a little tall for the moment. Let me get my straight edge. This is going to be the part where I get to see how well my hard work's paying off. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and get my tripod set up here while I do this little section. Too much. Too much. As you can see, if I lay my straight edge straight across, okay. It's up against the bridge there. Let me get my screwdriver out. This is why I wanted the Epiphone style bridge, so that I could use a screwdriver to raise and lower it instead of the thumb wheels. I don't know why that's not just already a thing. I don't know. Got the roller saddles. I like that too. I like that better than your regular. There we go. Better than the regular wedge saddles that come in these things. It's actually the first time I've ever used roller saddles. Look at that. That is nice. And I still got, you see how much adjustment room I still have, so if I need to lower it any more than that, I've got plenty of room. And I've got my tailpiece bolts, anchors, whatever, screws. I don't know. I'm a little more excited now because I can actually see some progress happening. This might be the kick in the butt that I need to. I tell you, last week dealing with the paint on this thing has really gotten on my nerves. But looking at that now. Oh, I'm giddy. Yes. So, for anybody who was asking about the neck angle from the start, are you going to put a neck angle on it? You're going to put a neck angle on it, right? Yes. I did plenty of reading up and watching videos on how Les Pauls are constructed. No, you need a neck angle. And that turned out pretty damn perfect. I couldn't be any more pleased with that. All right. Next stop will be, like I said, I still got some of the touching up to do on the back and sides. And look at that little shit right there. See that? See that? That was when I was trying to mask off the front to do my binding painting. Now when I went to pull the tape off, it pulled off a little tiny chip right there. So that's another touch up I'm going to have to do, but I'm just going to basically spray some paint into a little container and use a toothpick to fill that back up, because I am not painting it again. It's been what you would say a pain in the ass. Sorry. So yeah, I'm gonna end this video right here, and the next time you see me, I will be getting ready to clear coat this baby. Thank you for joining me.